All right, welcome back. Just this past Saturday, went to Stonecloud for their third anniversary. No, second anniversary, sorry. Got the Orbit 2. Their Orbit 1 last year was barrel aged stout with maple syrup, and I think it might have had something else in it. This, however, is different. Imperial stout aged in Basil Hayden's barrels. Celebrate our second trip around the sun. Orbit 2 was put to cryo sleep in Basil. I'm guessing is it Basil? Basil? I don't know. Hayden barrels as it passed for many moons through the cosmos. Enjoy earthy, spicy, and herbal notes of bourbon balanced by galactic, bitter, dark chocolate. They had two different variations of this that was in the tap room as well that I had. It's 14.5%. This 500 mil was 16 bucks. Last year was 15 bucks, and last year had they had less alcohol and adjuncts in it. So I'm guessing you're getting a better bang for your buck. 7/17/19 was bottle on date. As Orbit 1 came with a patch. I have another one in the closet aging for next year. So see how that goes. Oh, and they changed up their caps. They actually have Stonecloud caps now. Smell the bourbon from here. They had glassware, $7. The first time I seen glass like this was at Elk Valley. Did get a pour of this as well while I was there. It's like bourbon and like a cinnamon and chocolate. Smells really good. Cheers. Had this sitting out for almost 25-30 minutes. It almost has like a slight cinnamon burn as well. I am getting like a. I wouldn't say it's excessively dark because it is sweet. It's not as sweet as Orbit 1 was last year, thank God. Um, Nor is it as sweet as Orbit 1 was aged for a year. It's not as sweet as that. It is a little sticky. Uh, Medium high on the consistency, on thickness. It does have a cinnamon kind of a note to it. Dark chocolate um, with a little added sweetness to it, like a almost like a cinnamon candy. It's not really like a ground cinnamon. It's pretty solid for what it is. I'm somewhat getting the alcohol. It's hard to tell if it's the alcohol that's the burn or like I said, like a cinnamon candy burn. I mean, it doesn't burn your chest. It's a little warming. It's giving me the mouth and throat kind of burn like a candy, cinnamon candy would. Real good. I don't want to say it's kind of one directional, but it kind of is. Um, Unlike Orbit 1 that had, the maple, a little excessively sweet, and being fresh, it was, a lot of the wood notes. The bourbon was kind of on the back end, and then being aged a year, the bourbon notes took over. It was still nice and maple like, and wasn't as sweet. This, I'm guessing next year, like I'm calling it now, it's just going to be a bourbon bomb. Because fresh Orbit 2 compared to fresh Orbit 1, it's night and day on the bourbon notes there. Not really getting the wood notes like I was with the Orbit 1. I prefer the wood notes over the bourbon, but I don't know. It all depends on the beer, I guess. KBS pretty much does the every year is a little different, of course, but they tend to do the bourbon wood note even more evenly, I guess you could say, than any other barrel aged beer I've had. Uh, for what it is, what's the percentage again? For being 14.5%, I mean, it's really good. Um, Hell, I don't know, man. 9, leaning 9.5. I don't know. I just would it. I don't want to be an ass and say I was expecting more when I knew what I was getting into. I'm just kind of sad I didn't see any adjuncts this year. I'd like to see a little something, or even different variations of getting bottled. Speaking of, um, one was like a chai tea or spice or something, and the other one I forgot. All I know it was like a really dark coffee, and the other one was the like I said like the chai spice. Both were excessively sweet. I went in there and busy as hell, and all I said was, "Do you still have the two different variants of the Orbit 2?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, I'll take both." Didn't ask if I wanted a half pour, full pour, or a sippy cup, or a shot glass size full. Nope, I got full pours, $21, and I left about this much in the glass of each and dumped it. It was sweet, too sweet for me. That was between me and my wife, so that wasn't just me. Thank God, those weren't bottled. Shit, I'd been wasting my money on that one. So once again, sweetness is a good thing here. Elk Valley, or not Elk Valley, or Stonecloud thinks. No, not really. For being just barrel aged, so they say it's a little sweet for me. Doesn't mean I'm not going to finish it, but that's just my opinion, and know how opinions are. So there you go. If you got this, let me know what you think. If you don't got it, you got no chance of getting it unless you go to the brewery. We'll be seeing you.